have we ever done a one-on-one? We did. Really interesting.
Like come out with a bang.
Okay, so my first weekend ever hosting, I got to host you and I was terrified. I was so nervous. I don't like this chair. This chair is taller than the rest. Look, but my feet don't touch.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to remember to change that.
Fun.
So this is so fun. So I haven't had a one-on-one with you
Wow, well here we go.
since April of 2021.
Wow.
And I was a little newbie host then, so.
Oh, now you're just a big badass. Let's give it up for Summer. Summer worked, so, passionately and endlessly with all of her time given to all of the films and actors, and we greatly appreciate you and love you so much. Thank you for all that you do.
I'm gonna cry.
Thank you. It's okay. Crying is good. I'm doing that 35 million times a day.
We love you so very much, and that's why we are all here, right? Okay, so first, let's go back to the very, 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 very beginning of baby Felissa Rose.
Oh my gosh, that's going way back.
Way back. When did you get the interest in acting?
I almost feel like acting chose me. Like, I remember being super little, like maybe 2 or 3 years old, and I definitely loved to perform. I know you can't tell. I loved getting up in front of my family, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and singing all of the Annie songs. Even though I suck at singing, it was like, oh, there she goes again. So I know it was like innately in. Hi. Thanks for joining us. We love you. Is that my friend Derek? It is. Hi, Derek! One of the most amazing special effects artists. This is Derek Murray. I've done a million movies with him. Thank you for being here.
Of course. Must have some photos.
Oh, thanks, Derek. So I just remember like really loving the. It was probably like the connection between people, where you can perform and then you can see it affect someone. So that's really how I feel in life in general. If I can just sort of meet every single person and hug you and find out what makes you feel good and makes you tick, that warms my heart. So that's really good. So that's thanks Felissa Rose. Bye-bye. Long and short of it.
Now, everybody, of course, knows and loves Sleepaway Camp. I think we all have a special, Sleepaway Camp origin story. First time we saw it, how it hit us, or how it frightened us, or how we just go, fuck.
Has anyone not seen Sleepaway Camp? That's awesome. I love that you haven't. And
We will be talking about spoilers, just so you know.
we don't want to be a dick, but we might have to spoil it a little bit. But I'm here for this thing.
You don't want to be a dick?
I don't want to be a dick.
No.
Maybe I am a dick. Hey, it was cold on that waterfront in 1982.
So before I talk about Sleepaway Camp, I want to talk about another movie of yours that I love, probably even more than Sleepaway Camp. Satan's Playground. Anyone?
Oh, I so appreciate that.
It's my favorite.
Oh my gosh, I love you, Summer. Has anyone seen Satan's Playground? No. Oh, you've seen it? Thank you. So Satan's Playground was a movie we made right before I did Return to Sleepaway Camp, so it was like 25 years ago. About 25 years ago, and I worked with a director I really love and adore from New Jersey, Dante Tomaselli, and I play the sister to Ellen Sandweiss, one of the ladies of The Evil Dead. So I was like geeking out the whole time. I was like, hi, I'm back. She was like, oh my God, who is this one? And then Ed Neal, the hitchhiker from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, stars in it as well. And I think if I spoil that too, it's the only movie where I'm the final girl.
Really?
Well, I'm the final boy in some movies. But I'll tell you all weekend.
Spoilers!
But yeah, I love making that movie because it was a joy, like the script and the actors and the direction.
The script was phenomenal. the filming was beautiful.
Beautiful. It's on 16 millimeter.
It's a beautiful film.
I love film. I
The
love
subject
film.
matter, amazing. Jersey Devil, anyone? If you like your cryptid, and it's one of the best Jersey Devil movies I've seen, honestly. So that's always been a lore and legend that I've always really loved. Mrs. Leeds, all that stuff, so much. So, and I already knew about it when I saw it. I saw it on accident. I rented it. I said, "Oh, Felissa Rose, I'll watch this movie," you know, from Blockbuster. And then that was the subject matter, and I was like, and the cinematography of it was just stunning. And the woman who played Mrs. Leeds, the legend, you know.
Amazing.
She was so phenomenal. Really scary in the movie.
Scary.
Was she scary in person? Was she a method actor?
And she was not scary at all, and neither was Ed Neal. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, is my favorite movie ever on earth, the end. And so when I met Ed, I was nervous because the hitchhiker is one of those characters that is, to me, jumps off the screen and is the most terrifying person, you know. And Ed is like the biggest goofball. So working with him was so delightful, even when we had to use a real machete to my neck. Great time. Great time. I got a lot of them.
And there's a scene where he like carries you off.
Yes.
And how was that to film? Because that looked just terrible, like completely uncomfortable.
It was scary. We were in the middle of winter in New Jersey.
Yeah, it was
in
so close to
snowstorms.
you could all see your breaths. Like it
Oh, you
really
could
looked
see my
cold.
breasts. You could see my breasts. My shirt was like ripped off.
And your breaths.
My breasts. We're all hanging out across the room. Yeah, it was fun. It was one of those films where I really felt like I got to sink my teeth into a character, and it was a joy. It was great.
So everyone, go find it. It's kind of hard to find. I think it's available for streaming, maybe for purchase. Definitely out there on DVDs, though, on eBay and Amazon, because I purchased it for a few friends as gifts, so I know. but yeah, so check that one out. If you're a Felissa fan, that's kind of a must-see. It's the one I recommend to everybody outside of Sleepaway Camp.
And if you love Ed Neal or you love Ellen Sandweiss, I hope you enjoy the movie.
Absolutely. Okay, Sleepaway Camp.
I've heard of it. Yes. The ending.
What was the most difficult scene for you to shoot in that movie?
The kissing scene.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm 13 years old. Picture this, 1982. Just turned 13. And I'm reading the script and like, oh my God, I have to like make out with this boy. I don't know how to kiss a boy. Like, I'm 13. And so when we came to that night where we had to make out on the beach, I knocked on every one of the actors' doors, like the girl who played Judy, the girl who played Meg, Ricky. So should I use my tongue or should I not use my tongue? And then finally they were like, oh, it's Chris, the boy who's playing your boyfriend. And I did, and he was like, yeah, we can use tongue. I'm like, okay, that's completely, of course. That's a great idea. But it was, I know it sounds silly now, like, you know, talking about it, but when you're on set with 1 million people on the crew and under the lights and with another actor, it's scary. It's taken, even today, like when I go to set, my first day jitters are like, okay, I have to be calm and, you know, get into the character and not worry about, it's taken all this time to not think about a crew. I don't give a shit what I look like. I mean, at this time in my life, it is what it is. Over the hill now. But you have to get into the character and really just immerse yourself in the universe and not worry about anything.
So this kissing scene that you're speaking of, is this the one? I was going to say, but then he also went in for a kiss earlier, and he's like, "Can I have another?"
That wasn't as
So
bad.
which one was? So we're talking about the beach.
The beach one, because we were really, he put his leg around me, and we were, you know, close, and that was scary to me. But the first one where he goes, you know, it was just silly.
And you're like,
okay. Yeah, I'm like, I gotta go.
Can I have another?
I like, another, it's like another kiss. Like, it was so great. It was like,
Now, I love that beach scene because maybe this is your, I don't know if you were a good actor or, like you said, you were just terrified. But when the camera comes in close on you after you come back in the memory scene, or maybe before you're going into it, you have this like look of like, you're first of all, you're glazed over. Second of all, you also look afraid all at the same time before you freaking run. Was that an acting choice, or was this your nerves for the
Oh, no, that was a deliberate acting choice. Robert Helsick, our amazing writer-director, was so wonderful because we had a cast of very young people, like Friday the 13th. Our actors were 13 to 18, not 37 to 42. And we legitimately, most of us, this was our first time in a movie. So he really, and because I'm dreaming off into that sequence, he had to tell me what I was thinking about. So it was, as a kid, we're always imagining and pretending. We should never lose that, right? We should, let's all just imagine everything we want and like love life and be on a beach all together right now. Okay. And so I think he was really great at like sort of explaining to me what needed to be conveyed on screen.
And you were great at performing it, so already at 13 years old, you were wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so do we have any audience questions?
Hi.
Come on, don't be shy.
Hello.
Did you have one? Someone raised a hand. All right. Yes.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Hello. I am always confused between the scene where you and I guess it's Ricky pointing at each other. Like it's just like a weird scene and it doesn't really explain it. Like I think it is.
I feel like that's the pinnacle. That's the moment.
It is, but I just have always felt very confused by that scene.
I love that because I do think Sleepaway Camp has some confusion, innately in the entirety of the film. It brings up so much, like gender identification and sexual orientation. And I do believe my interpretation of that moment where myself and my cousin are looking at one another and watching my father and his lover in bed, that we are trying to understand what gender are you, what sexual orientation. I think that's the moment of trying to discover who are we?
Yeah.
And let's be whoever we want to be, right? As long as we're loving and kind, that's all I care about.
Yes.
Woo! Let's love each other and hug each other, right? Ooh, 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 ooh. Right? You can make a whole song about it. I just love love and I love everybody, and you can always just come to my table for hugs. That's all I care about.
It's true.
Literally, so I just watched a movie called Time's Up.
Oh my gosh,
And I
thank
pulled in
you.
Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm like, ooh. It's Felissa Rose. So how was it playing a cop and how cold? It looked like it was cold as hell in there.
We filmed in Maine. I produced the movie. So although I'm just a cop in a very brief segment, I was there the whole time producing the film.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So the film is stars Damien Maffei and Hannah Thierman, two amazing actors, and it was cold as shit in Maine in January.
That's something your movies have in common.
I know. I'm like, let's make a movie. Oh, let's choose a really cold place at a really difficult time during COVID. It was like January 2021. So we were still dealing with restrictions and getting kicked out of location. I remember one day we started filming in a house, Madison's house, and we go there and they're like, no, like, we can't have all these people COVID, blah, blah. I'm like, wrap it up, people, get out, going somewhere else. And it was like that kind of a shoot. So hopefully you enjoyed it. It's a very different story. It's a New Year's Eve slasher.
We need more New Year's
I
horror.
love
There's
New
not
Year's.
much.
Yeah, well, I just
We
did
need more.
another called New Year's Eve. But and that's a comedy. So I get to play Dave Sheridan's assistant, and I play this character. But I never got to play before. I'm like, hi, oh my god, and I had so much fun. It was a ball. I know. They're like, what is she doing? I cut, like, we all had uniforms, and I cut mine and bedazzled it. I was like, hi, I'm the new assistant.
Is that the one that's
So it sounds like it's different from Victor Crowley's assistant.
Oh my god, Victor Crowley's assistant cat lady. The pill pop and women. That was a ball. when you get the chance, please meet Adam Green this weekend.
He's great.
Isn't he the sweetest, loveliest?
Yeah.
With Adam.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Adam.
He's amazing. He's just an extraordinary talent. If you've seen any of his films, Frozen,
Yes, right.
Digging Up the Marrow, all of the action movies,
Hatchet's brilliant.
brilliant, and he's such a good person. He's like just a really loving individual, and I can't say enough, and I love that. Hi, Stephen Curtis, thanks for joining us. We love you, we love you, we're singing songs of love. I was like, wow, we really fell off the rails here.
Well, I have to go back to New Year's Eve because that is produced by PJ Starks, right? And I was just
And directed by
yes, that too. And I hadn't done my homework on that yet, so I wasn't like sure. But I was just speaking to him this morning about that movie.
Whoa!
And I'll show you the text messages about that movie. Like literally, what time is it? It is 6, so 4 hours ago. So this
That's
afternoon.
wild. He's so great.
He's so nice.
And that film set was one of my favorites because everybody was so happy to be there. And that's always the best. When you're on set and everyone is like full of gratitude and joy, every single day is like, woo, we're having a party. And you know, I hate parties. Oh my God. I hate being at the bar drinking.
Really?
Joe Bob said that's my specialty, so I'm gonna run with that. Don't we love Joe Bob Briggs? So great.
Legal dick expert.
I love you, thank you. I was just texting with him because it's his birthday weekend this weekend.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so he's having like a big birthday party in Arizona, and he was like, where is your mischievous ass gonna be this weekend? And I said, I'll be in Atlanta. And he's like, come to Phoenix to party. And I was like, I know. We should send
There
him
are
to-
Cracker Barrels here.
There's Cracker Barrel.
I suck so bad on that
I
one.
love that woman so much. There's just not enough words in your language. She's great.
She's so sweet. I was trying to get her on stage too, but she was shy.
She is. She's
Come
shy.
on.
I'm like, you are so magnificent. I'd be like naked running around this room right now. Like, you're crazy.
Any other questions out there? I know we have some newcomers. Let's go with you.
Hi, Carrie.
How do you remember everyone's name?
Carrie. We just met.
She remembers everybody's name, and I have no idea.
That would be really shitty if I'm like, you know, great to meet you, I love you, and then I'm like, we're all friends.
How was it being directed by Damien Leone on the set of Terrifier 2?
Should I cry now? I love that man to no end for so many reasons. For creating Art the Clown, for creating Terrifier, for being the most loving, beautiful person. I am a huge Terrifier fan, so I stalked them at a convention in 2018. I went to the convention to see them, and the restraining order is in the mail. But I went there, and I was like, I just have to hug you and love on you because I think you're like the most brilliant director. And if you want me to serve you coffee, please call me. And he actually called me like a couple of years later. It was like a year later, and he said, I have this role, fly out to New York, and I got to play that evil principal. And I told the story on one of Summer's panels where he was like, okay, let's do it. And he's like, really mean, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, okay, you want that? He's like, yeah, and then move it, keep swinging the kids around. I'm like, oh my God. So like 23 times later, I was like, he's like, again. I'm like, oh my God, Tina, can I talk to you? Am I doing something wrong? Because I think I'm being really mean. He's like, oh yeah, girl, we got it. I just wanted to watch. It's funny. I was like, you little bastard. So he's such a great person. And the set is full of love and happiness. Quite the contrast to the movies.
The whole cast of Terrifier. I've only met a few of the crew, but the whole cast of both Part 1 and Part 2 they're all so lovely people. And so
Not a bad one in the bunch.
okay, let me tell you, okay, this is, an I Love Damien story, okay? And the culture he created, Phil, on that set When I hosted you guys in Indy,
Yes.
there was 20 of these guys on this stage.
So that was a lot.
20. We had 2 rows of chairs actually.
Yes, 2 rows.
I think we had 19 people up here.
19.
And it's just 19. That's all. And you know, at the end, I have to reset for 2 chairs like this. Every person instinctively picked up their own chair and walked it off the stage, including you.
That speaks. Did I?
I mean, everyone did. Everyone just picked up their chair and moved it.
I think he has created it. I always think it
That's
starts
all
with the
hands
director.
on deck mentality.
It does. It starts and ends with the director.
Mhm.
And when you have a fierce, beautiful spirit like Damien on set directing us, or Adam Green, or Michael Levy, who is the producer on Terrifier, but now he directed a whole bunch of us in the new movie Stream.
Yes.
Stream, like, you know, it's only like Tony Todd, Danielle Harris, Dee Wallace, Jeffrey Combs, Tim Reed, Daniel Roebuck, Dave Sheridan.
And that's it.
You have.
That's all.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Who are they? An amazing film that's coming out soon, but it starts with Damien.
Yeah.
And I think when you have this beautiful sense of, you know, loving what you do and loving people, everyone follows in suit, and we're like, yay!
Everyone is helpful, like just did it. And I know Damien has a lot to do with that, but from talking to Phil and how he rode everyone to clean up after themselves on set, pick up their water bottles and throw them away, I know he has something to do with that culture too. You know, because he's like, clean up after you're done. He told me the story,
Yeah.
you know.
Phil is amazing.
Yeah, and no, I was just so impressed because I was like, no one's ever done that for me. And that's the culture that Damien has clearly created on that set, is everyone is in this together and everyone helps out. And so that was what
There's
I
not
brought.
an ego, you know, there's no ego on set.
Everybody.
Everybody's silly, everybody's joking around. The mayhem comes when the cameras roll.
Yeah, fun comes on the camera.
Did you like Terrifier 3 teaser? I was like, oh my God, but still my heart is beautiful. Despite what all the critics says, you can like make your horror, baby.
Do the critics even know what kind of movie this is? Like, have they seen the others?
You know, it's like horror movies and critics, they're just not, it's not meant to be. This is a different kind of art form, and if they don't get it, fuck them.
Right.
Here's my I don't give a shit what you think of me and my dick. Like, fuck
Well, I mean, also, there are so many different subgenres of horror. Terrifier almost falls into the realm of torture porn.
I'm sorry, I do love torture.
I love
I'm
it
like
too.
a hostile fanatic
Yes.
and Saw, like give me some torture or home invasion and I am in the
Yes, so I mean, you can like horror and only like certain subgenres of horror, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, just say, you know, this isn't my type of movie.
Yeah, I love them all.
Okay.
Hi. I have 2 questions. Was your role in Victor Crowley written for you, or was that just an energy you brought to set?
It was written for me. Adam and I met at a convention, I think in 2015, and I was such a huge fan, and he was sitting across the room from me, and it took me until Sunday to run over with a mutual friend. I was terrified, and I said, hi, nice to meet you. And then he wrote me an email asking me to be on Scary Sleepover, which I love his series, Scary Sleepover. If you haven't checked it out, do so, because it's a great show about horror actors and silliness, and then what makes them truly scary. So I went over, and we met really for the first time doing that, and he asked me about Sleepaway Camp, and I said, oh, you know, I had a New York manager. She was like this the whole time, oh my God. You got the part, kid. Are you gonna take it? And then he modified that, and he said he went back and started writing Victor Crowley with that character in mind, and I am forever grateful, and I, again, love him, love Hatchet, love Victor Crowley.
You were fantastic.
Thank you so much, thank you. I think that was the first time I really got to do some comedy, too. Like, you know, she's just so
And like when you were
overwhelmed.
passed out because you had taken too many pills on the plane, like
So many pills. I'm like, would you like Vicodin, Dilaudid, Percocet, Dahlia? I got heavy stuff to do.
oh, I'm sorry, we crashed. I didn't know that.
Am I okay? all she gives a shit about is her
Right, no,
not like what happened, oh my god, did everybody survive? Am I alright?
Did you have a second part?
Oh yeah. Also love sleepaway camp. Me and my friends watch it all the time. Have you received any backlash in the last few years though? Given the whole, sexual identity and gender identity and things like that?
I personally have not. I am open for every conversation, any conversation. Again, I come from a place of peace and kindness and certainly never want anyone feeling offended. With sleepaway camp, I know it carries a lot. With the trans community, with LGBTQ community, I've always felt an ally to every community. My dad opened the first gay resort in upstate New York in 1977. So it is my lineage, it's my entire, when I was 7, it felt like I finally found, connection and community. So again, I know I have a lot of trans friends, and I know there are people out there who don't like the film, and I always feel so apologetic for that. I feel like Angela's a killer because of being picked on and bullied.
I
And
feel
we
like
don't
she's a
talk
killer
about
because of
that.
Aunt Martha.
And she's a killer. Yeah, Aunt Martha's the true villain.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make a movie called Aunt Martha, the prequel, about that fat shit lunatic crazy lady. And we are already in talks. I've been talking to so many people. The conversations have been had. But I appreciate that. And yes, I know there's a lot. And I always want to be here for anyone who ever wants to discuss it.
I remember that when I was working for my law firm job, I had to issue documents to medical facilities, and I had one called Aunt Martha's. And I sent you a text with it, remember? I'm like,
Aunt Martha, good old Aunt
Aunt
Martha.
Martha's! I thought it was
Crazy
hilarious.
with a bag of chips.
I thought it was hilarious, so I just thought of you, and I had to send you where I had to issue this document.
She was crazy. I love her. She sets the tone for the movie. She's the best, craziest character ever. She's on screen for 3 minutes in entirety and has taken over the world of sleepaway camp.
I love her so much. I mean, R.I.P. She was fantastic. A fantastic performer in general, right?
Beautiful person.
You have to be a fantastic performer to pull that off, honestly.
She did not want to take that role.
That's right, you said that. And she didn't want to play it like that.
She did not want to play it like that. She did not want to be in that awkward, odd characterization that Robert wanted to portray. She said, please don't make me do this. He was like, I will only do this movie if you take the role. So she took the role and she gave it her all, and wowza.
And regarding the trans community and sleepaway camp, we should also say that, your castmate, Karen, has a trans child as well.
Yes.
And, so this cast is full of allies. But yeah, I mean, I can say that knowing several of you, that you are all just all up with the trans community.
Trans rights.
Absolutely.
They must stand together, please. So important.
I saw one in there, yes.
Hi!
What's my name?
You know what's that that I can't see?
Oh, come closer.
That's why we need the dark. But you say boo.
Yes. Your backlit also back there too. So
I know. I still can't.
Does that help?
I know.
we can't see what you're holding either.
I know. I can't see anything.
I still can't.
Oh my gosh.
Line up here.
You don't recognize me? Felissa.
I know. It's you.
I do have two. I do
You.
have two questions.
Now I know it's you. When you're
No,
goofy.
I have two real questions actually. You kind of answered it with your about your childhood with the gay resort in upstate New York.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you though. Part of this question was the being in sleepaway camp, was that your first exposure to transgender identity? And what you referred to earlier up here, I gathered from listening to that was the perspective of you being an actress in a movie and talking about the characters. But I wanted to ask about it personally, how that actually developed who you are today, that you at 13 years old, you played that role, and you're just a 13-year-old kid. And I'm really curious, I don't want to say traumatic, but was there any of those feelings like, why am I doing this? I'm 13. Or it was like, this is who I am. And I'm exposed to this stuff already. This is nothing, and I want to be friends with these people. And I'm just curious where your head was at when you were that age, not as an adult, because we know who you are as an adult, who you portrayed that you are.
You know, this is a beautiful conversation. And to be perfectly honest, I will applaud my parents because
Right.
I came from a very open home. If somebody needed shelter, they could live with us. If somebody needed, my best friend in high school came out to my parents. So I feel like when you're raised in a home of embracing and inclusivity and non-judgment. Like my dad, rest in peace, he passed away when he was 42. I was only 20 years old. And the only beautiful silver lining in that was he taught me how to live life fully. He was so young and so full of life. Every minute counted. Every moment counted. How you treat people, how you affect people, how you connect with people is the most important part of this physical journey. So that's really who I was raised, the home I was raised in was just about pure love and kindness. And I think I never thought about like accepting anyone. It was just like, how do you just not, you have to go out of your way to not accept somebody. Like that would be crazy to me, to not accept, I've only known in my life loving and caring for everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. Let's not judge anyone. Fuck that. That sucks. That would be a really big burden to carry. If you're just looking at other people and trying to make judgments about them or try to look them up and down. And you know what? And I know I'm loud and I know who I am and I know I love life really, really big. And it's okay if anybody wants to judge me, but come get to know me because I just want to give you a big old hug and tell you I love you. Okay?
I'm going to save my second part, but I want to applaud your parents because at that time when that, in the 80s, early 80s.
It was late 70s when
Late
it opened.
70s,
It was
early 80s,
1977.
that was unheard of to be that accepting and inclusive, and I want to applaud your
Thank
parents.
you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. That is so sweet. And thank you for that. Thanks for letting me share that part of me because that's, the soul part. That, like, we come here, we have a great time, we talk about movies, but really that's truly like the makeup of me. And I do love all of you. We are a community and we need to take care of each other.
Sleepaway Camp is a very soulful movie in my opinion. Like it really hits, even if you're not trans or gay or bi or whatever, we all have something in that movie that we can relate to.
We've all felt picked on at some point in life, right? I mean, I know I was, picked on and bullied and at that age when I was in 8th grade doing sleepaway camp. And I just chose to look at those people like, you are fearful and sad about something in your life, and I'm sorry that I can't heal whatever trauma and wound you had, but that's not going to prevent me from smiling and laughing and having a good time while we're here, because it's so quick, and sleepaway camp is, although it's silly and cheesy and crazy and wild and a fun ride, it does have a heavy component, and it does speak of a lot that, is more relevant today than when it came out. And I thank you for having me and allowing me to express who I am.
You're infectious.
Yes. So the first time I met you, I walked up to your table and ugly cried all over your ass. I mean, it was ugly. And she was probably very afraid. But I was crying too. Are you kidding? I'm like, I was crying because you were always very special to me, and I never in my whole world, ever, life, thought I would ever get to meet you ever. From like 8-year-old me on, right? And go to 2017, I don't know, 38 or something like that in Math, California Public Schools. And I just walk up to you, I'm like, hi, I'm Summer, and you know exactly who I was because you saw my Instagram, and you're like, Summer friend, oh my God, I'm like, and she's probably like, oh my God.
No, I have best friends my whole life. Like all my closest friends I met at conventions. I'm looking at so many faces here that I, you know, met people. This is the place where you find your people, right?
Mhm.
I finally felt whole and connected with myself when I found convention.
Me too, actually. Yeah, because I mean, I was really afraid to go to that first con. That was my first con ever, by the way. And I'd always wanted to go because I saw my childhood heroes, and I was always too afraid to go alone. And because I'm a baby, right? And I begged my husband at the time to go with me, and he's like, no, go have fun. Go have fun. And I'm like, fine, I gotta go, because I gotta meet nightmare people, and I gotta meet Felissa. I have to. You were like the one. Like Robert England, who I wanted so she was kidding. No, I did wait in line for 7 hours for him on Sunday, by the way. But you were like because he's been at that con every 3 years, so I could have gone to see him anytime, but you were the one that made me go that year. And go alone, and be afraid, and go. And so I was like already super like, oh, but as soon as I walked into that room, and I think everyone here can relate to this, you walk into the room of your first convention, and it's like, magical. These are my people. Anyone? This is your first con ever?
We don't have horror cons in Australia.
I was going to say, what part of Australia are you from?
Sydney.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome to your family. And then it becomes the family reunion you want to go to.
Yeah.
What's your first name?
Jenna.
Jenna, beautiful to meet you. If you ever feel like you're not sure, I say this to my friends, you always come to my table anytime and just hang out. You can just sit behind the table. It's just about making sure you feel good and comfortable. I know it takes a little bit to get your sea legs. Even when I get down like to the table, I'm like telling Jeffrey, one of my bestest friends, I look in your eyes and I'm like, oh, I feel good.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you. Best
Thank
first
you.
name.
Thank you.
I know, right? It's magical, right? No, I have some friends, I call them my gays. They're a lovely married couple, and they came in, I met them in Indy, and they're from Australia, and then they came for Days of the Dead Houston a few months ago, and it was the best. Oh, okay, so here's a funny Australia story. They said, hey, we're thinking, I can't do your accent, I apologize. Hey, we're thinking of going to that Australian steakhouse around the corner. We're like, what are you talking about? Outback? And they're like, Outback. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, you guys are adorable. I'm like, it's fine. They're like, not good. I'm like, no, it's fine. Not for you, but you're calling it an Australian steakhouse, and it's like a tour. It's like Disneyland. It's like a tourist steakhouse. Anyway, but it was so cute. I laughed. No.
Flipping onions on Australian. I'm just gonna put it out there. None of it is.
No, I laughed so hard at them, and they're like, what? I'm like, I'm sorry. That was adorable. Let me tell you about Outback Steakhouse.
Did they go?
No.
You're so happy they did.
We went to go eat Italian.
It's all
Way better.
Olive Garden.
No, I wouldn't let them go there either. It was just mom and pop around the corner. So that's what we went. It was really good. Anyway, moving on.
I haven't been to Australia.
Come over. Come visit.
I think you do some conventions.
We do like big conventions, but we don't get a lot of horror people. I think Robert Englund came out like 6-7 years ago, and that's all we've really had.
Well, we might need to bring our...
We need to make an Australian horror con because there's not a lot in Australia, or none in Australia. There's not
There is one in Ireland I'm looking into. I'm going to London in March. I can't wait till they get a load of it. They're gonna be like, oh my God, send her back right now. They come out to security stuff. I came I'm like, oh my God, and they're like, shut the fuck up. Get out of my country. And I'm like, this is so weird. I'm not on the plane. I never went to the show.
What con is that called?
It's called. Oh, now. Oh boy.
I think I started.
I haven't even started drinking. It's Showmasters London Comic Con.
Oh.
Yeah. I I went to England 2 years ago for the Love of Horror, which was so fun. So great. And you know what? Our community is the same everywhere. Germany, Canada, everywhere I've been. The best, most beautiful, loving people.
It's 100% true. And people don't think that. You know, you're walking around with a machete in your purse, but you're just a big touch your teddy bear, right?
Like every single person I've met everywhere, bar none. I've never met one person who comes to my table and is like, it's like a bad exchange, you know? Because I
Sure
like,
about that.
turn that around. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
I cannot think of, I mean, and Rob's here, and Jeffrey's here, and they've sat with me. Have we ever, not one exchange of like, silent poster. Here's my penis. Sign my cock. Like, I need to go. Sign my cock.
I forgot about that part. That was
Oh my God, and his balls were throbbing. And it was right in front of our face. It was the man's penis. I was like, oh my God, Adam, this is really happening right now. Please stop staring. I was like, oh, I can't stop staring. It's a real life penis. Oh my God.
And that, you gotta look for that version.
I know it's cut out in some. In some.
You gotta get the
I wonder why. I love when the girl lifts it's the ball drop. I love when she lifts her shirt and she's like, hey, can you sign my tits? One for me and one for my dad. I'm Christina with a K and he's Bill. I mean, you're cute.
If we say Bill with a B.
Bill with a B. She's so good and she's not like that. Adam's beautiful writing. Amazing.
And directing.
And
casting in that
He's
one.
like such, he's directing us too. I was first actor on set for Victor Crowd.
Really?
I was the first one in the hair and makeup and on the plane. The first scene we shot was Terry and I doing the pills. And I was so, can I tell you guys the truth? I thought I was gonna throw up. I was so fucking scared. Sorry for my bad language. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. I'm so enamored with Adam. I love him. I'm gonna wreck the whole franchise.
Oh my God.
I was scared. I was so scared. I was like shaking. But
It came out great. And of course, we're going to talk all about that tomorrow.
and Dave Sheridan is here.
Yeah, Dave's here. You and Adam, we're going to have another panel.
Poor Adam. He's like, I have to sit with these two freaks.
Oh my God.
Dave's higher energy than me. I look like a wallflower next to Dave. Dave Sheridan. I've done 37 movies with that crazy man. I deserve an award for that. Yes, a big award. Like the biggest, greatest. I don't know what I'm saying.
So, you know, we've talked a little bit about Sleepaway Camp. We talked about my favorite, Satan's Playground, and you mentioned some of the projects that you've done recently or have upcoming. Are there any more upcoming that you can or want to talk about?
Yes, so many. So I was just directed by my best friend Sean Whalen from People Under the Stairs. He stars and directs his first feature. Let's give it up for Sean. And we're going to have a huge announcement in the next couple of weeks. And Alan Ruck is in it. Alan, who's Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And Daniel Roebuck, one of my favorites. And Ricky D. Logan plays my lover. And it's super fun, and I produced it, and I acted in it, and it was a great gift. It was a gift. And New Year's Eve, and a new movie that came out late. Check out, I have another movie that's directed by Hannah Fierman that I produced called Dark Circles that's coming out that Derek did the effects on. Triple Xmas just came out. I played that. I love that. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Ex-porn star. It was so fun.
Was that directed by Dean?
It's James Dean.
James Dean, that's it.
Not the porn star, but the other James Dean.
Not the dead guy.
Not the dead
Not the dead guy.
But the other James Dean. There's just too many James Deans for me to remember.
James is lovely.
Yes.
I met him for the
I was
first
just with him last week.
I met him for the first time in person a couple of months ago.
I in Chicago.
Yes.
And he had. I get so excited. Christmas
Yeah.
slasher.
And now holiday horror, specifically Christmas horror, is my favorite subgenre of horror. So I'm super excited for that. I haven't seen it yet. I'm super excited for Terrifier 3 because of that. Not that I wasn't already,
Yes.
but because of that, I'm so
Oh.
excited. And we need more New Year's horrors. We've had 2 new ones coming out, right?
Hanukkah, New Year's Eve.
Right? Now we gotta get with these directors, you know, PJ and James and all these other guys. We need to get them to do some more Easter horror.
Well,
Because we only have a couple.
I'll talk to that.
We need more Easter horror boys. And more April Fool's Day horror. Because that's
Oh, I love that.
That movie's just right for
I'm
horror.
done. I'm ready for that.
Right?
It's done right here.
President's Day.
I'm ready. I just want some shit with some crazy females. So I was talking to Lauren Rivera, you know, who's the lead Sienna in Terrifier 2, and Serena Vincent, who's like my all-time favorite from Count of Fear. Oh my god, she's so hot, I can't take it. And I was like, I should play the 3 Italian chicks. I should play their mom, and we're on the run, killing everybody.
Yes.
Directed by the Salsas.
Directed by, oh
They
my
would
God.
crush that shit.
Here we
Jen and
go.
Sylvia.
I brought it up to Lauren and Serena,
Come on.
and they're on board. So now I just have to figure
Gotta
out
get
the
Jen
rest
and
of it.
Sylvia on this.
Right? I mean, 3 crazy chicks.
I'll direct it. I volunteer as tribute.
Right? Or at least,
Never directed in my entire life.
hey, but you're ready.
You have to have the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
I'm
wanna,
on it. Let's go.
Be crazy, you know.
3 crazy Italian.
Yeah.
That's the name. 3
That's
crazy
it.
Italian. Crazy Italian.
And we're like, and we have a gun in our house, and we're like, hey.
You know, speaking of crazy Italians, can we talk about your character, Ma?
Oh my god. This is a really obscure film I did.
It is
called
not that
Garlic
obscure, it's
and
streaming on
Gunpowder. It's called Garlic and Gunpowder, and the cast is pretty great. The late Judy Tenuta,
Yeah, oh my
who I
God.
loved working with, she was great, and T. McDermott, and Martin Cove from Karate Kid. So many. James Duval, love James Duval.
Lindsay Hartley.
He's in Donnie Darko.
Lindsay Hartley.
Yes, Lindsay Hartley, yeah. Sean Whalen.
Sean. Everyone was in that movie, by the way. And
And I play Bob. She's 573 pounds. She's the Bob.
Yes, it's
She's
true.
the Bob boss that had big long red nails. I grew up like this.
Amazing fat suit. I'm not. She was not kidding. She's like, Ma. And
Yeah,
I
I was
mean,
in makeup for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, I could just eat a lot of donuts. I mean, we can cut all this shit out. You know, I'm ready for it. And it was so fun because she was just so over the top and crazy, and I loved this role. She was based on a true lady. So the director was like, I had to really, they didn't believe that I could do it. They were like, you know, you're not going to be in like a tight little dress. And I was like, no, I want to be a crazy character.
so my favorite line in that movie. You know, on the podcast we always have a segment,
Uh-oh.
epic line. Don't be afraid. I told it to you before, but you don't remember. But you'll remember now. You're talking to your daughter-in-law, one of the two.
My daughter.
A daughter, and you're like, she don't like no white dick, it ain't got no flavor.
It's a true story, I say that. My character said.
But you said it way better than I did just now. My delivery blows.
She ain't like no white dick, it ain't got no flavor, alright?
What, with her
Big
cigar?
Mom! And with my cigar that's like hanging out. Yeah, I did say that. True story. Clifford Kelly gave me that.
I have it on DVD.
Me too!
So I know the dialogue.
You got the dialogue really well. Yeah. She's a true woman, and she and her husband were the true, the true couple of the story.
Wow.
So she was mad in love with her husband.
Well, you saw my ex, so you know that's true. I felt like you were
Yeah.
talking to me.
She don't like my wife.
Okay.
Oh, God.
We have about
Wow. On that note,
On that note, we
who
have
wants to see my dick?
we have about 2 or 3 minutes. Can you leave our audience with some final words? let's like maybe something important you've learned on any set that you have been able to take with you in your life.
Oh, wow.
We got real deep, real quick, right?
I mean, probably some of the most important things I've learned is just to breathe and be your true authentic self. And again, take care of those around you, because at the end of the day, your relationships and being a good person is what really matters. That's what really, really matters. And, you know, am I being funny? It is the most important thing, and I hope when we all like walk around the convention and we're having fun, that maybe something we've said here today resonates and we do hug our friends and take care of each other. Thank you for being here. I love you more than you could ever imagine. I appreciate you. Guys,
If you missed the announcement in the beginning, stick around, tell your friends. We have surprise Heather Langenkamp panel.
Heather
Ross not scheduled.
Don't miss her.
I bribed her to come.
She's one of my favorite people on the planet. I love her. She's a friend of mine. Is she here?
No, she'll be here in a minute.
Oh my God, I got real starstruck real fast. Is she here? Because I'll show her.
Give her like a Backstreet Boys.
I will.
Okay, yeah, so please stick around, okay?
Yes, hang out for
Should we all stay now? Well, let's put us together and then we can take a selfie. Other way around. Vertical.
I mean, it's currently.
Turn it around. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This.
Oh, wow.
I know, I wouldn't have known either.
All right, ready? I'm going to do two of them. One.
Go a little higher. One chin. Higher.
Oh, I see.
There we go. Woo!
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, kick. 1, 2, 3, kick.
Now farther back. A little farther back. Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, click.
I want to go. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kale. Do you want a picture with Felissa?
Absolutely.
Good, she's wonderful.
It'll raise my stock.
All right. Ready, beautiful people? All right. So great. All right. So I will. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being
Beautiful. Oh, thank you guys. A lot of boobs. Right. So I'll see you tomorrow for Hatchet. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. Thank you, Felissa. Thank you for having me. So amazing.